Initially, what brought me to Georgia Justice Project, I was seeking advice for my case, and I was going through a really rough time through the court systems. I was a sophomore in college. I honestly didn't know where else to go for help. Tried to do a lot of things on my own, but wasn't really getting any results. Felt really comfortable, got introduced to an attorney, which helped me out with my case, and it just kind of went from there. But I've been in the software tech space for about 4 years now, and I've built a successful career in that space, and I feel like without Georgia Justice Project, none of that stuff would be possible.
Volunteering has always been a big deal for the organization. In the last 10 years, of course, we have really moved our volunteering program up to a whole nother level. For the bulk of our history, or for the first 23 years or so, all we did was criminal defense. And it was really hard, really kind of almost impossible, to train a corporate lawyer, a non-criminal defense lawyer, to handle a criminal case, a one-off sort of engagement. So we've been thinking and looking for a chance to allow the community, the legal community and others, to help us because they wanted to. And so when we got into criminal records, saw the need that clients had, but also saw the opportunity to train essentially folks who didn't know the criminal setting, it was a win-win. And that's one reason I think that the criminal records program not only was launched, but has been so successful. The criminal records work that we launched in pretty much '08, we were clear we wanted to do two things. One, we wanted to help people who had this issue, and two, we wanted to change the law. And we had never done either of those before, sort of en masse, and opened our doors up. Volunteers from some firms here in town had been taking on cases, helping us, and they're the ones who said that we should go change the law.
Ever since September 2014, we have held a monthly clinic where we have paired about, on average, 7 clients with 7 volunteer lawyers. Over the almost past 10 years, we've been able to represent close to 700 clients through the clinic. The vast majority of our volunteer lawyers come from law firms and in-house corporate legal departments where they do not practice criminal defense at all. We prepare them to take on these cases and of course are able to answer any and all questions as they continue through their representation. And so we've always been financially supported by the Atlanta legal community, but some people wanted to do more than just write a check. The clients are so appreciative that they have someone in their corner. A lot of these clients in our record restriction cases did not have legal representation in their underlying criminal case, whereas they are meeting with their volunteer lawyer at the clinic, talking to them to prepare their pleadings and the declaration and just have more of a relationship and have somebody that's advocating for them.
I had a felony for over 38 years. Wasn't getting anywhere, just going down. I received some excellent services through the clinic, and they told me the steps that I needed to take. Since I've gone through the clinic, for one thing, what has changed is my mindset. Now I feel that I have the opportunity to get back into the workforce, to help my family out. Studying for the Certified Surgical Technologist exam, so I'm studying for that before I apply to the hospitals. Even though you have a felony, you still can progress.
I've always felt that the Georgia Justice Project did just an outstanding job preparing us for the clinics.
The volunteer work in and of itself isn't a heavy lift, and when you talk to these clients, you realize what a huge impact it's having on their life and their ability to build a better life for themselves and their family.
Many of the clients that I work with would not have a criminal record had they had legal representation when they were first arrested and first went to court. That's one of the things that struck me with my very first client. I find the work so meaningful. I don't think I'm ready to walk away at any time.
About 40% of all Georgians have a criminal record. And a criminal record is if you've been arrested and or convicted. So a lot of people don't realize that any encounter with the law, any encounter with getting arrested, can impact the rest of their lives, and really the lives of their families. And having a criminal record is a huge barrier to getting a job or moving forward with a job. In fact, the highest correlation between recidivism is with employment. In other words, if we want people not to go back into the system, make sure they have a job. And yet having a record is an impediment to getting a job. And the biggest thing we do, honestly, is help, once people are out of the system, is to extract them from the reaches of the system, which includes criminal records, probation, driver's license issues, voting issues, all these things we work on because there's such a massive need in the state and really in this country.